All right, well, hopefully these comments are not in the way. Yes, I can see you. You're rocking it. Thanks, Jennifer. You guys are hilarious. And that cawing in the background is the one and only Etzel. See? Look how quiet he's being now. Oh, yeah. That's the man right there. Okay, let me get Arlo out. So what we're going to do is we're going to weigh him first, okay? And then I thought that we could look at his plumage, and I have a little fake mouse, and I thought that we could see if watch his behavior on trying to track the mouse and see what it does. Okay? And he's itching to get out here. Hello. Come on, Arlo. Come on, hello. Hi, buddy. Come here. Come here. So we've got a scale right here. We're going to put him right on there. Can you see the scale there? Okay. So it's in grams, okay, and it's zeroed out with this perch on it. Hopefully I'm showing you this right. Okay, let's go. Hi, buddy. Can you step up, please? Good boy. Hi. Look at how big Etzel. Okay, so it's zeroed out. Can you step down, please? Step down. Oh, no. Come here, step up. Oh, you little devil. Step up. Come on. There you go. Step down. Oh. Sorry, guys. Step up. Come on, can you step up, please? Arlo. Oh, my. Okay. There you go. Step down. Good boy. So he is weighing 490 grams, that is. And barn owls get they will weigh between just a tad under a pound and a pound and a half. And he is what his full size will be. And can you see how different his plumage is? He's lost all the downy feathers. I'm going to switch the camera around here. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Oh, my God. I'm horrible at this. I need Lynn. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera around so I can film him this way. There we go. Okay, so you can see that his downy feather, the baby feathers, are starting to, a lot of them have dropped, actually. And even on the back of his body, he's got still some on there. Etzel's pulling out all of his stops for you right now. And you can see that he is starting to do short little flights. So he'll be going outside next week because he's flying the length of the house. Let's see if we can get him to come over here and see this little mouse. Good. Arlo, 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 Arlo. Come here. You're okay. Come here. Come here. Arlo, Arlo. Okay, ready? Arlo, what's this? Arlo. Arlo. Let me just grab my glasses here. So see how cautious he is? He's taking everything in. He's watching Etzel. Etzel's doing a little display there for him. Arlo. Arlo. Etzel's giving you the Harris hot call. Etzel. Arlo. Arlo. So something's very intriguing to Arlo outside. Arlo. Look at what we got here. Arlo. Arlo. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, one thing I wanted to talk about again with owls and raptors is rodenticides, and how important it is to not use rodenticides, which is poison. An average nesting pair of barn owls, let's be on the conservative side that they have a clutch of 5, and there's 2 adults, that's 7, and they average about 1,000 mice a year that they help control. And if they don't get that, if they get that rodent that has rat poison, unfortunately, secondary rodenticide is far worse than primary. Okay, he just went potty. Come on, buddy. Oh. Does anybody have any questions? Come on, I need you to go back up. Here you go, step up. Step up. Good boy. There you go, come on. I know for some reason he is not going after the mouse. I think it's because he's so intrigued with everything else in here. You can hear his vocalization. He's very curious. So right here is a fireplace, and he probably can feel the draft. So he's chatting a little bit here. And you see that his head moving around. I'm moving my fingers around to show you how he watches things. But they get distracted very easily. Melissa asked, why is he hissing at you? It almost sounds like a radio station, like an old-fashioned radio station, changing the channel. You got to see that cute little short flight. And that's more curiosity. He's not, that noise right there, that's not hissing. He's actually content. He's exploring. You see him head bobbing. He's focusing. And if you think about a newborn baby, and I mean, we've all witnessed them looking at their hands, and we laugh at the faces. That's exactly what this bird is doing. He is bobbing his head up and down, trying to focus on objects, and they have the ability to see monocularly and binocularly. So, you know, our field of vision crosses to a focal point. These guys can operate their eyes individually. And it's fascinating to watch because you'll see their pupils dilating at different times, and that's all raptors. So you see the shape of his facial disc feathers. Right now it's got a center ridge on it, almost like a satellite dish. But when they're flying, sometimes they'll make their face very flat, concave. Just depends on, you know, what they're hunting and the wind and what's going on, all the elements. You can see that all of his bristle feathers, well, kind of, if he'd hold his head still, are starting to come in. They were little tiny spikes last week. Okay. Hi, Arlo. His nose bridge area is like a mohawk. Yes, it is. That'll fill in for sure. He will make these same noises as an adult. He will be going outside probably beginning of next week or maybe this weekend. It depends how nice it is, but we do have an enclosure ready for him. He was not found in New Hampshire. These birds are not found in New Hampshire. If you look at his feet, can you see his feet there? I can't tell. He doesn't have feathers on his toes. So he's really not equipped for our extreme conditions. They're found more toward that Pennsylvania belt line and that southern belt line across the United States right there. Although we did have a barn owl up in Rhode Island. Gosh, that must have been almost 10 years ago now. Big female. She was beautiful. But she just came up for a short period and then headed back down south. He was not found in New Hampshire. He was born in captivity. He's from a captive bred program for education and exhibits. He's non-releasable because he's an imprinted bird. Kathy Etzel always wants to be in the limelight. He's totally watching everything we're doing right now and preening his feathers. So how is everybody doing in quarantine? I'll tell you what, I can admit, I can confidently say I would not survive in solitary confinement. It's very hard. It's a grueling task. So you got to stay positive and come up with things to keep yourself busy. Does anybody have any questions about Arlo? Etzel, who's got his back to us right now, is an African pied crow. Oh, Lee, thank you so much that you're saying I made quarantine a bit easier. That's wonderful. And let's all hope for nice weather so that we can bring out the gyrfalcon and the vultures. It's just been really cold and rainy. Hi, Nikki. Arlo is 9 weeks old. Carrie, I'm glad that he has made things better. Jean, yes, he is a barn, as in the structure, B-A-R-N. Lori Arlo will stay with us at On the Wing. He is going to be an education ambassador like he is today. So if this was a wild bird, we would not be talking and holding him and exposing him to his human elements. We always try to limit that. Although I thought maybe one day it might be fun to look at one of our cases together and you could see the progress of one of the birds. We have quite a few birds that are getting ready for release, and unfortunately they're not going to be fun releases like we typically do because it's this quarantine. Hi, Chloe Yerjo. So I don't know if any of you guys chimed in the other day when we had a little Eastern screech owl, and his name is Big Jim. Chloe Yerjo named him, and she's our youngest volunteer. She goes to school at Epping, and she came to us to learn how to public speak and to get over her fear of public speaking, and we're so proud of her because she's been doing a fantastic job. So we can't wait to get out of quarantine and work with her more on that. Can we visit in the summer when quarantine ends? Jamie, what we do is off-site programs. So, and we definitely will, we have a ton of off-site programs scheduled for this summer, and hopefully they'll stay scheduled. But we will have events where you can come meet the birds, and I'd like to meet all of you guys face to face. What is the rarest bird I have ever rehabbed? Let's see. I didn't rehab it, but I rescued a golden eagle. And that was pretty darn cool. And maybe the hardest bird to rehab is an osprey. They're very, very high-strung birds. And yeah, that bird made me work really hard for him, but he was successfully released back to the wild. Let's see here. So, why is he imprinted? How did it happen? Okay, so Brenda, he is an imprint because he was born in captivity, and he's been raised by humans, and he was out of a captive bred program strictly for education and exhibit. So we got him at 6, 7 weeks old. And yeah, so he's an education bird. Let's see what the other things are here. Oh, wow, that's not good to do. I'm so sorry. You shouldn't have seen that. That is a typical imprinted bird, what he just did. Hi, Allie. I'm glad you're enjoying this. Maybe you could draw a picture of Arlo and post it on this post. I would love that. Hi, Kira. Maybe you could draw a picture as well. I love that you have a big smile on your face. And if you aren't old enough to draw, then maybe your mom could take a picture of your cute smiley face and post it on this live stream, this post. You love this picture of him behind you. Where is he? Yeah, so you know what's really interesting is he's on a bobcat pelt right now, and prior to that he was on a coyote pelt, and this is pretty cool. So it was a couple years ago, I did a program at Great Bay Discovery Center, and when I walked in, I panicked because there were taxidermy predators everywhere. On the post and beam, you know, they were everywhere, just like luring around and lurking around and looking down on us. And I thought, oh, this is going to be a disaster. And when I took my first bird out, it didn't even faze him. And the reason it didn't faze him is because there's no life in the taxidermy, which totally makes sense. Here I was panicking. Although domesticated dogs, I've noticed, they get a little nervous around taxidermy. And I think that that's probably because they're just not used to the wild card, right? Here you can see his feet a little better. Am I showing his feet? Let's see. Wait. Yep. So you can see that you can see the scales on his feet, but he doesn't have feathers on his feet. He doesn't have feathers on his feet like a great horned owl. See, the feathers go all the way down to the tips of the talons. It looks like fur. And that's equipped for jumping in snow. All right, guys. Well, Monday, Lynn will be here with me to help me. And then we'll go outside and we'll bring out the gyrfalcon. We'll bring out a bunch of different birds. So have a great weekend. Stay strong. Have a great attitude. And your birds make calls at night and keep you up. Ooh. Well, I don't have too many birds close to where I sleep, so I can't hear them. But occasionally, yes, I can hear them. In the spring, it's really nice. It sounds really beautiful to hear all of the different owls calling at night. How old do you have to be to volunteer? Typically, we say 18 or older, and you need to be able to have transportation to get here. Yeah, 18 or older is probably best for us. So you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe and strong, and be kind to each other. All right, I miss seeing everybody, and I miss my volunteers so much. It's very lonely without them. All right, take care.